Hi everybody, welcome to the mini lecture Assessing Kirkpatrick's Level 1 Student Reaction. Let's start off with some terminology. For the purposes of this course, reaction is defined to include things like feelings, such as how do you feel about our IM chat reference service? Comfort level, how comfortable are you asking for help? And satisfaction. How satisfied or happy are you with the information presented today? The assessment metric or indicator is student feedback, which can be gathered in a number of ways. And the methods to capture student feedback are often feedback forms and surveys. So what can be assessed with student feedback? Well, the workshop venue and logistics, for example, including things like presentation format, instructor skills, and classroom environment. You can also look at things like library anxiety or information confidence, including things like using library resources, navigating the building, and asking a librarian for help. And here's some examples of different ways you can use to gather feedback. You can either do this in print or electronically or online. By far the most popular assessment form are in fact feedback forms. They're also known as smile sheets. The purpose is to provide a quick snapshot of the participants' reactions to the session. These forms are fast and easy ways of getting information, but what to do with that information can be a bit tricky, and we'll explore this a little further in the module. Another means is opinion poll. It too is a quick way to gather an understanding of where the students are stuck or what obstacles to their understanding there may be. And there's a range of ways you can do this. You can have high-text response systems such as clickers, Poll Everywhere, or Kahoot, as you can see in the illustration. Or you can opt for low-tech. Ask for a show of hands. Use colored index cards to indicate answers on a multiple-choice questionnaire. Self-confidence surveys are another way of gathering assessment data using feedback. The purpose is to identify areas that can be emphasized by the instructor and lead to fruitful discussion between the instructor and the students. You can complete these during the class or at the end of class. And if you do them at the end of class, they can be useful for getting and improving the next session. They're also good for program review as well. For instance, at the end of every semester, you might go through all the surveys and see if there's any patterns of things that need to be fixed. The example on the screen is from Annie Zeidman-Karpinski, who is one of the authors from last week's readings. The Zapinski article indicates that it is good for level 2 learning, but my colleague Candace and I think it's actually measuring reaction, mainly because people are notoriously bad about measuring their own competence. For example, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Other assessment options for level 1, 3-2-1 reflection. You can have a student write down 3 things they learned, 2 things they thought were interesting, and 1 thing they have a question about. And you can of course adjust the criteria to fit your circumstances. There's also the minute paper. Students have a minute to respond in writing to an instructor prompt. For example, what was the muddiest point or the least clear thing that they've heard so far?